The media empire built by MrBeast is under fire as a bombshell federal lawsuit rocks Beast Industries. Former social media manager Lorrayne Mavromatis is taking the company to court, alleging she was wrongfully terminated just weeks after returning from maternity leave. She claims the environment was a hostile boys' club where she was forced to work nonstop, even while in the labor and delivery room.
Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
The allegations go much deeper than just employment status, as Lorrayne Mavromatis points to a culture of systemic gender discrimination and sexual harassment. Within her legal filing, she describes harrowing instances where complaints to leadership were dismissed or ignored. She explicitly claims that former CEO James Warren brushed off her concerns about inappropriate behavior, effectively silencing her efforts to maintain a professional workspace. One of the most shocking claims involves the top level of management, with Lorrayne Mavromatis alleging that James Warren told her she was a beautiful woman whose appearance caused a sexual effect on Jimmy Donaldson, better known as MrBeast. According to the lawsuit, these comments were used as a justification to exclude her from key projects and meetings. This paints a disturbing picture of the internal dynamics at Beast Industries that supporters and critics alike are now dissecting. Beast Industries is fighting back hard, calling the lawsuit a clout-chasing shakedown and claiming they have Slack messages and witness testimony to prove the accusations are fabricated. They insist the company followed all legal guidelines, even as this latest legal battle threatens to tarnish the massive brand of Jimmy Donaldson. We will be tracking every update on this story, so make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell to stay in the loop on this developing investigation. Imagine working for the biggest creator on the planet, only to find yourself fighting for your basic rights from a hospital bed. That is the harrowing reality described by Lorrayne Mavromatis, a former social media manager for MrBeast, who has just rocked the internet by filing a federal lawsuit against Jimmy Donaldson's empire. She is not just claiming a wrongful termination. She is alleging a toxic, boys' club, culture where harassment was the norm and accountability was non-existent. Mavromatis claims she was working nonstop from her delivery room while still recovering from childbirth, only to be fired just 3 weeks after returning to the office. It is a chilling image, working through the physical trauma of birth for a company that allegedly viewed her not as a professional, but as a distraction. The allegations go deeper, involving claims that leadership dismissed reports of sexual harassment, citing that her appearance was a problem for Jimmy himself. This brings up a critical question. When does the pursuit of viral fame cross the line into labor abuse? MrBeast's team is firing back hard, calling this a clout-chasing move filled with fabrications and promising to release evidence that contradicts her story. They are calling it a calculated payday scheme, even noting that the lawsuit exploits Jimmy's personal medical battles. So, is this a case of a former employee holding a titan accountable, or a hit piece designed to exploit a massive brand for money? We are watching a high-stakes legal battle that could permanently stain the MrBeast legacy. Let me know in the comments. Do you think this is a genuine whistleblowing moment, or just the start of a smear campaign? Subscribe for updates as this unfolds, and remember, not everything behind the camera is as polished as it looks on your screen. What happens when the world's biggest YouTuber faces a reality check that has nothing to do with viral stunts? Jimmy Donaldson, better known as MrBeast, is currently caught in the crosshairs of a serious federal lawsuit that paints a disturbing picture of his massive media empire. Former executive Lorrayne Mavromatis is alleging a toxic cocktail of pregnancy discrimination, sexual harassment, and retaliatory firing, claims that are shaking the foundation of the Beast Industries brand. Now, before we dive into the details, it's worth noting that the scale of this empire is mind-boggling, with nearly 500 million followers and a net worth pushing into the billions. But with great scale, it seems, comes some massive growing pains. Mavromatis, who was hired to head up Instagram operations back in 2022, paints a chilling picture of her time at the company. According to the lawsuit, she was pressured to work throughout her entire 8-week maternity leave, going as far as to attend a conference call while she was literally in labor. 3 weeks after returning, she was out, with the company claiming she was suddenly too high caliber for the role. But the allegations don't stop at HR mishaps. She claims the former CEO, James Warren, who is Donaldson's cousin, made inappropriate comments about her appearance, dismissed concerns about harassment, and even suggested that her presence had a sexual effect on the boss. This is heavy stuff, and if true, it points to a culture that sounds more like a chaotic frat house than a professional billion-dollar corporation. Of course, Beast Industries is pushing back hard. They aren't just denying these claims, they are labeling the entire lawsuit clout-chasing and stating they have the digital receipts, Slack messages, documents, and witness accounts to blow these allegations out of the water. They describe the lawsuit as a series of deliberate misrepresentations, setting the stage for a messy legal battle. It's a classic case of he said, she said, but amplified by the internet's obsession with the MrBeast brand. When you combine this with previous controversies, like the explosive allegations from contestants on Beast games regarding safety and exploitation, or the ongoing litigation with his former burger brand partners, you have to wonder if the cracks in the empire are finally starting to show. Jimmy Donaldson himself has recently admitted that he's not the best at building company culture, citing his lack of experience starting out as an 11-year-old. He's brought in new executives to try and course-correct, but the sheer volume of legal drama suggests that professionalizing such a fast-growing giant is proving to be his toughest challenge yet. Is this a case of a young company struggling to catch up with its own massive success, or are there deeper, systemic issues that no amount of C-suite restructuring can fix? As this lawsuit unfolds, the public will be watching to see if the Beast can survive the scrutiny. What do you think? Is this just the cost of doing business at this level, or is there a genuine culture of toxicity that needs to be held accountable? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more updates on this developing story. Think you know the secret sauce behind the world's biggest YouTube empire? Think again. The machine behind Jimmy Donaldson, MrBeast himself, is currently hitting a massive speed bump, and it is a lot more serious than a botched production. A former executive, Lorrayne Mavromatis, has just dropped a lawsuit that paints a picture of a workplace miles away from the wholesome vibes we see on screen. We are talking allegations of sexual harassment, deep-seated gender bias, and retaliation that would make any HR department break out in a cold sweat. Mavromatis, who served as head of Instagram at Beast Industries, claims her time there devolved into a hostile environment where women were systematically sidelined and harassed. The most jarring detail: she says she was pushed into a dead-end role and ultimately fired just weeks after returning from pregnancy-related leave. That is a heavy claim, and it raises serious questions about how companies scale when they grow at breakneck speeds. But Beast Industries isn't just rolling over. They are firing back, calling the lawsuit a clout-chasing hit job and claiming they have the internal receipts to prove these allegations are categorically false. They insist her exit was just part of a routine corporate shake-up, not retaliation. This isn't the first shadow cast over the brand, either. Remember the Ava Crease-Tyson controversy from last year? It's a reminder that when you're building an empire that employs hundreds of people, the optics of the boardroom are just as important as the views on the videos. Speaking of headlines, the digital world is a wild place right now. We've seen MrBeast himself slamming an OnlyFans creator for pushing a fake AI-generated photo to chase engagement, proving that no one is safe from the deepfake era. Meanwhile, we lost a legendary voice this week. Alexis Ortega, the iconic Latin American Spanish voice behind Spider-Man and Big Hero 6, has passed away at just 38. And in a bizarre turn of events, Jason Derulo is making waves by claiming he will never work with women again, after his own sexual harassment suit was dismissed, proving that when the cameras stop rolling, the drama often just shifts to the courtroom. It is a crazy news cycle, and it really makes you wonder, at what point does the pursuit of viral fame cost too much? If you found this breakdown insightful, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. Do you think Beast Industries can bounce back from this, or has the brand's image taken a permanent hit? Stay tuned, stay curious, and I will see you in the next one. We are talking about the biggest name on the internet, and right now, his empire is facing some serious heat. MrBeast, the man who has redefined YouTube with nearly 500 million subscribers, is suddenly at the center of a bombshell lawsuit. A former employee, Lorrayne Mavromatis, is hitting Beast Industries with some heavy allegations, ranging from gender bias and wrongful termination to claims of sexual harassment. It is the kind of drama that stops you in your tracks, but is there more to this than meets the eye? Mavromatis is claiming that she was pushed out of the company just 3 weeks after returning from maternity leave, a move she alleges violates the Family and Medical Leave Act. She even shared that she felt pressured to work nonstop while in the hospital, telling the AP that she was physically recovering while still trying to keep up with the demands of the job. But here is where the story gets really messy. Beast Industries is firing back, and they are not holding anything back. They have publicly labeled this entire lawsuit as a clout-chasing shakedown, explicitly stating that they have the receipts, including Slack messages and witness statements, to prove these claims are totally fabricated. In one particularly striking defense, the company points to internal communications where a coworker actually urged Mavromatis not to check her messages while she was in labor. The company says the narrative is being twisted for a payday, and they are standing firm. But the lawsuit does not stop at employment law. The most shocking part of the complaint claims that the company's CEO told Mavromatis that MrBeast wouldn't meet with her because of her sexual effect on him. Beast Industries is calling this claim absolutely disgusting, noting that it maliciously exploits Jimmy's well-documented health struggles, specifically his eye condition and Crohn's disease, to score headlines. It's a classic he said, she said scenario on a massive scale. As this legal battle unfolds, we have to ask ourselves, in the high-stakes world of content creation, where does the line between professional culture and personal conduct actually lie? What do you think about this explosive situation? Is this a genuine fight for workplace justice, or something much more opportunistic? Let me know your take in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe for updates as this story develops. Because in the world of online fame, it turns out that even the biggest stars can't escape the reach of the law.